Ways to build credit uh, is specific to industry, I would say. So a lot of businesses that require equipment, like whether it be a restaurant, whether it be a bar, whether it be rails for your boutique, whether it be a construction company, when you're leasing equipment or you're financing equipment, it builds good business credit. So what happens actually is that any time that you purchase or lease finance, specifically finance or lease equipment, it's being built on your commercial credit. Because one thing that happens, the mistake that new business owners make is that they don't make the separation in between commercial credit and personal credit. On commercial credit, it's completely separate than your personal credit. Of course, if you have a bankruptcy or you have a consumer proposal, it's going to be very difficult to access credit on both ends of the spectrum. But to build a business credit, I would say the first thing to any small business owner out there that's listening is try to finance or lease equipment under the business name. First step. Second step is, like you said, getting a business credit card. These are really important tools for you to build your credit at the very beginning, whether it be getting a company car, company equipment, a business credit card. These are the fundamental tools to building credit in a business. Because if you're not building that initial credit, even if you're several years in business and you're generating an amazing amount of revenue, the bank will still shut you down because they need repayment history. That's how they're able to build it up.
So it's almost like a high school student just coming out of high school and getting their first credit card or student credit card. Um, I had
Exactly.
I had one when when I turned 18, and I've had the same card ever since. So it's the
Well,
same scenario, right?
yeah, exactly. I mean, it's funny that you said that because that's the exact example that I use with my customers. Is that
Hmm.
oftentimes people will tell me that they have an amazing credit score on the personal, and I explain to them that the business credit is like a student coming out and applying for the first credit card. You can't start by asking for a $50,000 loan if you've never had a credit card in your life.
Right.
Same thing goes for any kind of personal credit card. You wouldn't go to the bank and expect to get a $50,000 credit card if you haven't had a $1,000 balance credit card. You have to be
Hmm.
realistic about the situation.
Hmm.
That being said, by going through that avenue of building up your credit, the bank's going to say, hey, well, you know what? He took this amount of money with this credit card, paid it back several months, so we can increase the limit here. Now you're applying for a business loan down the line 2 years later, and
Hmm.
okay, so we have previous history. Commercial credit is great because the way that commercial credit is graded is very different from how personal credit is graded. When you actually look at
Okay.
a personal credit report and a business credit report, the score of how it's made up has 500 more inputs on the business credit than it does on the personal credit. They're looking
Hmm.
at much more data, much more impact. So it's going into a lot of aspects of the business that are making the business credit versus the personal
Mm.
credit, which is
Okay.
pure credit debt ratio, amount of trade lines, credit accessibility. There's just the fundamental list that are breaking down there. And where commercial is much more complicated. So it's looking at how much debt you've incurred onto yourself, onto your business, and it kind of like just makes a whole mix to make that commercial credit.
Hi, Brian here. This Minisode was part of a longer conversation I had with Saphir. The next time you're going to have him on the show, we're going to talk about how to generate a return on your investment when accessing business financing or funding. So be sure to stay tuned, like, comment, and subscribe. Hit the notification bell so that YouTube will let you know when Saphir's next episode drops. So stay tuned.